the Republican, the Christian terrorist Republican of the Wisconsin House of Representatives said this yesterday, that the Orange Vomit called him, quote, within the last week, end quote, and the Orange Vomit was trying to overturn the 2020 presidential election in Wisconsin. You know, Trump, I keep being reminded of what Susan Collins, this insane fucking senator, so-called, from Maine, said the reason she voted not to impeach the bastard or convict the bastard when he was first impeached, she said, well, he'll learn his lesson. I know he won't do this ever again. I don't think we ought to that bullshit. You remember that? And people laughed at her and said, learned his lesson? This fucking grifter? Trump? So here we are, 18 months into Biden's first term, and this rotten worm is still, the Orange Vomit is still trying to turn things around. Now, the guy he contacted is the Wisconsin State Assembly Speaker, Robin Vos, a real Christian terrorist. That's what he is. And he told a radio station or television station in Milwaukee that he received a call from the Orange Vomit after the state Supreme Court ruled on July 8th that most absentee ballot drop boxes in Wisconsin are illegal. I don't know why, but that's what the Christian terrorist Supreme Court in Wisconsin said. So what they ruled, though, the Supreme Court addresses future elections, not the one the Orange Vomit lost in 2020 by more than 20,000 votes in Wisconsin. But the Orange Vomit doesn't care. He is above the law. He truly, deeply, honestly believes that he is special. The law and his violations of the law are meaningless. They don't mean anything to this fucker. He doesn't care. I mean, the January 6th committee can prove that he is a grifting, rotten bastard who led an attempted coup of the United States. He doesn't care. He knows in his heart that he will walk free. At least he thinks he knows that. Now, this little prick, the assembly speaker in Wisconsin, this Christian terrorist, Robin Vos, he said, quote, referring to the Orange Vomit, it's very consistent. He makes his case, which I respect. He would like us to do something different in Wisconsin. I explained that it's not allowed under the Constitution. Well, he has a different opinion, end quote. Now, that's the little prick who is the state assembly speaker in Wisconsin, Robin Vos, who says he respects the lying, filthy bullshit case that the Orange Vomit has been making since the day after the election in 2020. How can these people continue to support this scum grifting bastard Donald Trump? I need to quit asking that question because, if I let myself go, I'd be asking it every minute. How can they do this? How can they do this? Anyway, the little terrorist who runs the Wisconsin State Assembly, Mr. Vos, said that Trump then put up a post about him, Vos, on Trump's little social media sewer. In a July 13th post on Trump's social media sewer, Trump repeated his bullshit claim of election fraud, and he said that the speaker, this poor little prick, Christian terrorist Robin Vos, who loves Trump, who would do anything for Trump, but Trump says that the speaker is letting Democrats, quote, get away with murder in Wisconsin. I mean, and then Trump added this on his toilet social media outlet, Quote, what a waste of a brilliant and courageous decision by Wisconsin's highest court, end quote. I mean, it's just fucking unbelievable. Trump. Well, I've said it before. This shit will continue until the bastard is dead. That's the only way this is going to stop. Until he is fucking rotting away in some urn someplace or in the ground where the maggots won't even eat him. They'll just go away and say, what the fuck is this? Anyway, and then last night, Trump said on his little social media sewer outlet that the Republican primary opponent of poor Robin Vos, a guy named Adam Steen, will win if Vos does not take action. In other words, Trump is just telling the Speaker of the Wisconsin House of Representatives, change the fucking outcome of the vote, or I, the Messiah of you dumb fucking Christian terrorists, I, the brother of Jesus Christ, I will endorse your opponent. That primary, by the way, is a month away, less. Trump also wrote this on his social media sewer outlet. Quote, this is not a time for him to hide, referring to this little Christian terrorist Vos. It's not a time for him to hide, but a time to act. I don't know his opponent in the upcoming primary, but I feel certain he will do well if Speaker Vos doesn't move with gusto. Robin, don't let the voters of Wisconsin down. I mean, the goddamn hysterically funny arrogance of this bloated bastard Donald Trump. It's beyond belief. Beyond belief. Now, after this little prick, this little Christian terrorist Vos, now remember, he's the Speaker of the Wisconsin House. And last year, he got some criticism from the Orange Vomit. So Vos hired a former state Supreme Court justice to review the 2020 election, even though recounts and court rulings had found Biden won the election in Wisconsin. Didn't make any difference. So this former Supreme Court, state Supreme Court justice, a guy named Michael Gableman said Republicans who control the legislature should consider decertifying the 2020 election. Based on what? Based on nothing. And Vos, the little Christian terrorist, rejected that idea because legal experts, including Gableman's own attorney, said that to do that is impossible. You see how fucking crazy these people are. Gableman, a former state Supreme Court justice, says, well, let's just decertify the election. And anyone in that state whose brains haven't been poisoned, whose brains haven't been infiltrated by this Trump virus, everyone in the state said to Gableman and to Vos, no, you can't do that. I mean, you can't do that. But it didn't make any difference. Now, the Christian terrorist Vos, who is the Speaker of the Wisconsin House, said that over the past year he talks to Trump regularly. Even though he says they don't see eye to eye on how to deal with the 2020 election. You little asshole, the 2020 election's over, Mr. Vos. Now get ready to lose your job because the Orange Vomit is going to back your opponent. Wow. Now, Vos's opponent in this election, or this primary coming up August 9th, Vos's opponent, a guy named Steen, okay. Adam Steen. No, it's not Stein. This guy's not a Jew. He's another Christian terrorist. Adam Steen said, well, I haven't talked to Trump, but that the Orange Vomit's comments are lending fuel to his primary campaign. People in Wisconsin will wait until this degenerate fucker Donald Trump says something, and then the voters in Wisconsin, the ones who love Trump and see him as the real Messiah, then they act. The voters in Wisconsin. So now all of a sudden they're flooding towards Adam Steen, another Christian terrorist. And Steen criticized Vos for not advancing the resolution that would try to undo the 2020 results, even though the Wisconsin Constitution says, no, you can't do that. But these fucking people, oh my God. Steen said, quote, if you really want the people to know that their vote counts, listen to this fucker. If you really want the people to know their vote counts, you want to find the answer. So what he is doing, what Vos is doing to me, is spitting in the face of men and women who have given their life to this country. I mean, this fucking Steen should have his pants taken down and his ass paddled by his mommy for talking this shit. Oh, my God. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.